Would you like to know more? Welcome to the War Master Podcast, episode 23 of Adventures in 3D Printing. Today we're going to be looking at some Forest Dragon, what are these called? Black Knights, I believe. So the skeletal knights from the Vampire Count's 10mm range. A lot of supports to clean up on these, and the way I'm now, my new workflow with the water washable stuff means that I'm picking off the majority of the supports when the models are wet and warm, and it makes them very, very easy to come off, but it's quite easy to damage the models, so I go quite easy on what I try and remove. And there were a lot of supports on this one, so I've still got supports kicking around, even, and you can see them obviously a lot easier after you've undercoated. But one thing about cavalry models is they're quite dynamic, and even when they were cast in metal, they used to have like bits of tufts of grass and stuff here connecting the hoof to the ground. So I've left some of them on because, you know, it'll provide some support to the model. I don't want the model to break if possible. So there are a lot of supports to clear up on this, but that's kind of got to be par for the course for cavalry, I believe. So anyway, let's have a look at these fellows. This is one of the two command strips. I've got a nice, like a bloody chalice with a wing. That's very cool. Cool motif. We've got a skull, and maybe it's a bit missing here. I don't know. I can't quite tell if there's a bit of wing not printed at the top here. If that's deliberate or not, you never quite know. There's a chip in this, so there's a chip in this shield here, so maybe this corner is meant to be broken off. And you obviously got your skeletal horses, your skeletal, and these are pretty good in the game. These are your 3/4 plus armor knights for 110 points. So just the same as Empire Knights or Silver Helms, but can't be terrified. And don't have initiative. Now the initiative thing is a problem in the game. You do have to be conscious of that, and when they start getting dinged up, you can't rely on initiative to get them back into a combat or to get them away from a combat. They tend to, especially if they're down to one stand, get a little bit isolated. The free half pace move, if you play that special rule, helps a lot. It helps a lot with that. So this is one of the command strips. We'll have a look at the second one. My printing technique seems to be holding up relatively well at the moment. Touch wood. There's wood here, so let's touch that. Everything's going relatively well. We've had some slicing issues, so I'll talk about that in a future video. FEP's holding up. The lining and the kind of Z-axis problems I had have all gone away. It has left me in a position that I'm a little bit in two minds whether I should go back and reprint some stuff or not. So we'll have to wait and see, because I'm only printing once or twice a day at most. Most days only once. So this is the other skeleton. What are we calling this? A command strip. There are actually two of the kind of banner strips and two of the strips which have the leader figure, if I can find a leader figure, and a musician. I think he's in the middle of this set here. Oh no, there he is, he's the back. So this is the second half of the command strip, and here's what I'm talking about here. All this obviously here was support, so I had to take away the vast majority of the support here. And although that looks very dynamic, let's have a look how rigid it is. Oh, it's pretty rigid. No giving that. There's obviously, I'm not going to take away anything too much under this support here. So, God, look at the mess the undercoating's made there. Stupid bloody army painter. It was quite cold today, but I did heat the spray up in cold water, so I was hoping to avoid that. If you don't know, Mr. Forest Dragon's taken a month off, I believe, so his next month is going to be February. He's taking January off. So he's done the December one, released at the beginning of December. He's taking January off, and he'll have some stuff out at the beginning of February. That's good for me because it gives me some time to print and paint some stuff, because the one thing that if you're printing 1 or 2 units a day, one thing you can end up with is a whole mountain of stuff to paint or even just to sort out. clean and wash and base and stuff, and you end up just getting flooded with stuff. So hopefully he's all right, and hopefully it's just a month off and he's back doing his great works. He's doing some Bretonian and another unit of these. I think they're going to be the vampire-based ones, so the living knights, which don't really have a place in the game. They'll just be a variant in the same way that you have dragon princes. Is that the right nerd? Dragon princes, or there's some empire knights that have hammers. So just variants, but the same stat line in the game. Anyway, stop talking jibber jab about War Master, and let's have a look at these miniatures. So we got 6 different. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4 different stands of regular cavalry, and then 2 of these commands, 2 variants of these, and 2 variants of the banners. It's a shame about that undercoating. It really has gone wrong today. Right. Let's have a look at the remaining 2 stands. So we have this one here. As always, his sculpting is fantastic. Or their sculpting is fantastic. No problems with getting these off the print bed using the hot water method. No obvious issues with lining or anything. It was all supplied pre-supported, so top stuff. I don't know what level of cleanup people are going to be willing to do. It was, I mean, these ones down here are quite difficult to get out, especially now they're cured. But I think they'll look all right when they're painted. I mean, 10mm is quite forgiving. And then we got the final one here. So that isn't, this is just a little variant with a little banner, little French cavalry banner there. Very nice. There's a support there. I've got to stop talking about the supports, they're everywhere. But these are the Black Knights from Forest Dragon. As always, top stuff. I think they were in the December pack, so if you're interested in these, they're still available. I think they'll be available all the way through till the end of January. Okay, and I will see you soon for the next one.